When we're frustrated with our kids, it's not the same thing as being frustrated with another driver on the road, somebody that cuts you off, somebody who does something you don't want them to do or behaves in a way you don't want them to behave. We're talking about somebody that we love dearly and fiercely, and that can make the frustration even more unpleasant. Ultimately, what we want is we want to feel connected and compassionate towards our kids. So I want to share with you a perspective that might help get you back towards compassion. Even if you're still frustrated, it'll help you think about your kids in a more generous way. So what I want to tell you, what I want to remind you is that for teens, everything is very intense. They're having very strong emotions for the first time, and that could be falling in love for the first time, that could be feeling rejected for the first time, scared, a lot of unknowns and a lot of feeling like they should know something. Everybody else has got this shit figured out. Why haven't they got this figured out? And they don't always voice these concerns, certainly not to their parents. So keep that in mind. They're having a lot of new experiences. So it's a lot to take in, especially when you're looking at high school or prepping for college or even going into high school. Some of the people I work with, their kids aren't teens yet. They're still preteens and they're just starting to be overwhelmed with everything that's going on. So there is a lot of newness for our kids that we take for granted because we've already been there. And then the last thing I want to remind you of is that there's expectations. We have expectations for them to grow. They're starting to look like adults, so we start treating them like adults, so we start having expectations of them. And with all of these new experiences and new emotions, they're not the same person day to day, so they can't quite control who they are and how they show up. And that can be very frustrating, especially if they want to be cooperating and they can't. So my hope is that you just take this in and look at your kid with a little bit more compassion. It doesn't make them cooperate with you more, but it might ease your sense of frustration with them. I hope this helps.